Let's talk about choosing your instruments, choosing your instrumentation, your ensemble for this composition. Some points that should be taken into consideration. Try to feature instruments that have the capability to represent your chosen poem. So think about the theme, think about the feel of your poem and what that means to you. And, what are the instruments and what are the sounds, what are the textures that come to mind when you think about that feel or that theme. In the piece, the model piece that we've been looking at, Oak, Melly Hay, in her composer notes, says that the poem, I think, lends itself to the lower ranges of the viola as compared to the violin, as there is a statelessness to the lower ranges that I think the oak tree suits. So she really justifies her choice in instrumentation with that statement. And also, combine instruments that work well together. So for example, a trumpet and a flute duo is probably not the most effective combination, because think about the differences and the similarities between instruments in terms of pitch capability and also dynamic range. It's important how you can use aspects and textures of different instruments so that they can overall complement each other in composition. Looking at, once again, some of the techniques being used in oak, the melody is at the beginning of the piece played by the instrument of lower pitch between the two, viola and cello. And the accompaniment is, within the instrument of higher pitch, and this is not really typical. It's often usual that the lower pitched instrument is responsible for holding the bass part, holding the accompaniment. But that's not what the composer has chosen to do here. So that's an interesting technique, and the melody is actually drawn out to be 12 bars long in this section. Moving forward to another section that we have definitely already looked at before, when the viola now plays the melody. So we have this switch between the two instruments. They've switched roles now. So now the viola has become the forefront of what is going on, and the cello has taken on that accompaniment role. As we looked at in our melody writing lesson, the melody has been altered to maintain interest and distinguish it from that first section. So it's more of that like building up technique that we're going for, starting off slow, getting faster as we go along. And you'll also notice that this time around the melody is only 8 bars long. It's actually been condensed to be shorter than that first time. So these are some interesting techniques to think about when you're thinking about instrumentation and the roles of melody and accompaniment in your composition.